Well, here is my video on my first attempt at stuffing a single leaf of silver, edible silver, into a veggie capsule 00 size that I got from the health food store. And the panels of silver seem to be about 4 inches square. And this is my finished product. I managed to get into the capsule, all stuffed, one whole leaf, crumpled up and stuffed into a capsule. Now, how did I do that? Well, I started by taking a pair of toothpicks and holding them together like so, and picking up, holding with my left hand, using my fingers, holding the corner of the tissue paper, and then digging underneath very gently with 2 toothpicks to fold it over. And I went to each corner and folded it over, turning 90 degrees the square towards me after I got done with this corner. Then I rotated the plate to, or the square I should say, of tissue paper to get to this corner, and this corner, and then this corner. So I folded it into the center. And then I kept going around folding into the center until I couldn't do that anymore. Then what I did was I held my toothpicks, one in each hand, right hand, left hand, and then this surrounding the crumple in the middle. Because the idea, here, let me do it this way. I held one, let me focus, there we go. So I held, whoopsies, a little perspective there. All right, be like this. So I held this in the right hand, and I held this in the left hand, and then drawing these toothpicks together, I tried to compact it sideways, this way, instead of folding, because I couldn't fold it anymore. So I smushed together. It had to be narrow enough to fit inside the capsule, of course, the long side of the capsule. And once I got it to be narrow enough into like a hot dog or wiener size shape in its own size, then I managed to pick it up using 2 toothpicks side by side. I drew them together and picked it up and gently and then stuffed it in. And then, of course, I rotate the toothpicks to let go of the silver. And then I extract the toothpicks and then I capped it. And so it worked. I was able to do it. Now, I'm assuming because it's paper thin, or it's, super thin, it'll crumble up in my stomach, because, boy, it was easy to crumple up. You can see the pieces that got left behind on this tissue paper. And my first attempt, I sliced the silver thinking I could wrap it around a toothpick. Well, no, it doesn't want to cling because it's wood. So why should the silver want to cling to a toothpick? Duh. The toothpick would have to be made out of plastic for me to do this, and then I won't be able to get it off the plastic if I used a plastic toothpick. So wood is the only way. The people who make this stuff use bamboo implements and tissue paper, because none of these substances can create electrostatic cling, causing it difficult to work with. It's not that easy to work with. So I have some particles on my plate left over in my attempt to use a different method. I had cooked it up in my brain and it doesn't work. The only way is to fold it, and then if I can't fold it anymore, scrunch it together, but not this way, but with the toothpicks facing each other. And then I put them back together again to pick up the piece, and then grab it and then shove it in the capsule. So it has to be smaller than the size of the capsule, obviously, because don't try to stuff it in and, I'll just jam it. No, it won't work. You're going to make a mess and it's going to rip it up all over the place. It's got to be small enough to easily slide inside, smaller than the inside diameter of the capsule, and then you cap it. And now I'm going to take it with lemon. Let's see, I made some apple juice, dilute apple juice with lemon, and of course I have to use freeze-dried lemon juice crystals from True Lemon, because I'm too lazy to squeeze a lemon, even though fresh lemon is better. Yes, indeed, I have to admit. And then I'll take it with that and B vitamin. Nice Thorne Research, basic B complex, folate. See, folate. Folate and methylcobalamin. Those are the two things you have to have if you've got a weak system and can't absorb things very well. Otherwise, it just goes right through your system and out through your urine. So it's reasonable quantities, you know. Comes 62. I got it on Amazon, 60 of these. See? 60 capsules. Anyway, so I'll take it with a B vitamin, and I'm learning now to take it with ginger. So I'll also take it with ginger. Nature's Way ginger root. And, right. And then I still have to take cayenne pepper with meals. So you have to take certain herbs to get you to utilize your food, at least I do, because my system is so run down, it's pathetic. Now, I'm going to do things differently. I used to do things on a pattern, but I'm not going to do that anymore. I have a pretty good feel now of how to take this stuff. So, but I think what the problem that I have with eating rich food is that I don't digest it very well. The excess sits there, not digested, and ferments and creates toxins. And it's the toxins I got to deal with, so I figure, okay, I need more silver to kill off the bad bacteria in my gut that's creating toxemia. So I need more silver, and then maybe I'll be able to eat something more rich than dilute eggs or dairy products such as yogurt or cheese, cream cheese. I need to eat fish maybe. But I've been staying away from it because it breaks down into such a toxic overload that I have to take so much potassium iodide to deal with the aftermath. But if I take the silver ahead of time, maybe it'll prepare my gut to be able to handle the fish. And I might have to take the silver a few days in advance before I even attempt to eat fish. I've also found that by eating gold leaf in substantial quantities, I've hit, it's culminated or climaxed in sensitivity, an awareness of a sensitivity I have towards gluten. And at first I gave up bagels, but then I had to give up wheat altogether. And I don't eat oats either, as it is, because I have other problems with oats. But right now I'm having back trouble, because I was stupid enough to strain myself. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. So it's already hurting me just standing up giving this video. So I'll only take gold, and I already have a prepared capsule from before, because I still have some gold leaf powder left over. So I put the gold leaf powder in there along with some lemon juice, at least so I have some minimum. Here, I'll show you the gold leaf. I'm using it up from 5 years ago I bought it. Now this is very hard to get a hold of, and it's very, well, it's harder in the sense that it's more money. It's very expensive. And maybe it comes out weight-wise, it's as cost-effective, or maybe it's even cheaper than the leaf version. But the leaf is a whole lot easier to deal with, I think. And you end up with more inside the capsule, I think. One whole leaf. Now this was a 4-inch square. The gold leaf I bought recently at the same time that I bought the silver leaf is only 2 inches square. So it might be adequate, one leaf of gold leaf, if it's 2 inches square. And it's very economical, and now that I know to deal with, I may even get bamboo tweezers, but I don't know if that's a good idea, because toothpicks are the right size. And if I get tweezers, they may be too big. But it's worth a try. I suppose I might. How expensive can it be to get bamboo tweezers? They sell kits to deal with gold leaf, silver leaf, whatnot. And it comes with tweezers, and that's really what I want. So it might be worthwhile to spend the money and discard all the other items that come in the kit, because I'm assuming it's not something I really need. Although it may come with tissue paper. So, well, I'll have tissue paper left over from this. I'm going to collect these. It's good to have extra pieces of tissue paper, because I didn't have tissue paper. But you really got to have the right size tweezers. But it would be nice if these toothpicks were joined at the end. Maybe. It might be nice. Yeah, I think I'm going to try that. I'm going to order some bamboo toothpicks, bamboo tweezers. I'm going to order a kit with bamboo tweezers in them. Okay, so I'm going to try ingesting this. Now, if I should have any trouble, pain in the gut, you know, I'm a little bit queasy about this. I know to take beeswax. It'll stick to the leaf, the metallic leaf, and easily take it through the system, the gut. And I've learned how to melt beeswax in a double boiler with oil to diffuse the wax in the oil so that the wax won't stick to my teeth. But it'll still be sticky, sticky enough that it'll stick to any metallic particles that we ingest and easily take it and coat the inside of the gut at the same time. So beeswax is a pretty good thing to have, and I get them, if I can walk to where I have them stored, because I have this horrible pain. Let's see if I can grab a bag. Here we go. I bought them on Amazon they come in ounce size blocks. They come about 5 blocks to a package. And it's the only pure edible beeswax I can find. Now, they don't sell it as edible, they sell it as cosmetic. Nobody sells edible beeswax. But the 1 pound blocks, don't even go near them. They're a waste of time. They're horrible. They clog up the arteries. They're unbelievably disgusting. But these are soft enough you can break them if you use enough force. You can twist and break a bar. You can actually work with these. And 1 bar is perfect. You can break it in half and put the half in a mug, in a coffee mug, and put the coffee mug in a pot of water you're heating up, and pour in the veggie oil, and melt and diffuse the wax. Let's see, what else can I say? Then I also have MSM in case I need MSM for inflammatory pain, but that's not really the issue. The issue is you got to have something sticky to stick to the metallic pieces, if indeed you need to have that. Now, when I deal with metallic colloidal silver in aggregate particles, I don't usually have to ingest wax. I used to have to, but I don't anymore. And it might be because I eat things that are sticky already, such as full-fat yogurt, and cheese. It's very sticky stuff. In fact, before I learned about beeswax, that's right, I'm reminding myself here, what I used to do with beeswax anyway, when I didn't know to melt it in an oil base, I would drop it into a cheese base that I was melting over macaroni and cheese, and it stuck to the cheese very nicely, or diffused. It diffused into the cheese very nicely. So anything oily and greasy, the beeswax will diffuse into. But cheese is sticky, and metallic fibers probably sticks to it. So you don't have to use beeswax. You could just use cheese, or anything else that's greasy, sticky. I don't know about vegetable oil, but I think it has to be an animal fat to be something that solidifies at room temperature. Well, that would be coconut oil. That's right. So I've never tried coconut oil to test it, so maybe coconut oil would work. If that's the case, then peanut oil should also work, because peanut oil can also solidify at least refrigerator temperature. Yeah, it has I think a different temperature at which it solidifies by comparison to coconut oil. Anyway, those are some thoughts I threw out that I've never really tried myself, but I've tried beeswax and I know that works. And it's confirmed by a report at the National Institute of Health in which they talked about edible plant wax or edible wax to line the inside of food containers, to stick silver to the containers to preserve the food held in those containers. So after I had deduced that wax might be a good idea, such as beeswax, I looked online, and that's when I found that article on the National Institute of Health in the NIH site, government site, confirming what I had intuited on my own. So then I thought, oh, cool, second opinion, then I'll go for it. Then I went with the beeswax, and it's been working very nicely ever since. But in this case, I'm not doing that. I just stuff it into the capsule here and swallow it and see what happens. Because it can't be that bad. If you get a little pain, you just take some wax right away and it'll catch it, so to speak, adhere to it, and move it along. So it shouldn't be a problem, but I doubt I'll need to. I doubt I'll have that problem. It's so paper thin, it just rips up. And when you think about it, what's the thickness of the layer of cells in our gut that sloughs off anyway as it is? Did you know that? The inside, the lining of our intestinal tract and stomach and mouth, all of that keeps shedding a layer of cells that have to keep growing to replace what was shed. It's as if Mother Nature knew that we're going to be rubbing against the inside of our gut continually, and so she's better be prepared to give up a layer of cells all the time. And that goes along with our food. And that's probably what we try to digest, and if we don't, it may end up decomposing in our guts. So even vegans are eating themselves when you think about it. Um, so it's not too much of a concern, even if the metal gets lodged in the lining of the gut, because it's going to come off anyway and pass through. It's just a question of, do we make it easy, and if it becomes irritated, do we ease the irritation, that sort of thing. It's mainly for our own comfort's sake that I'm saying these things about beeswax and sticky foods. Let's see what else. Yeah, when you work with it, you'll see it's so easy to shred. Okay, I've said enough. So this is my new development that I'm trying to experiment with, to try to find different ways how to stuff a capsule with edible silver and edible gold. And this first experiment was with edible silver leaf. I haven't tried the edible silver gold yet. But when you've looked for it, you've got to find the word edible. It's got to say that. It's got to claim that. And when they give an assay analysis, that's good too. um, Now they usually dilute the gold down with a little bit of silver. They remelt it. When they get a gold bar, they remelt it with a little bit of silver to make it workable. Otherwise, they can't work it that well. So you're not going to find it as pure as the silver. So just expect that. It's okay. But you have to look, They don't have anything else, that's popping up there on their assay list. And if they don't give you an assay list, then, why shop with them? Okay. So these I got from Amazon. I got 2 packs. I got this, and I won't show you because my back is bothering me. I'm not going to bother lifting my hand to go get it, but it's a little 2-inch square of gold leaf, edible gold leaf. It should say 24 karat on it. It should. It should not say 23, or anything less than 24 karat. Anyway, okay.